Alright, what is up, gamers? This is, I'm Piner. This is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. First off, I'd actually like to ask either the host or the chat, which voice acting should we do? English or Japanese? Alright. So, Laurie, what voice acting should I do?
I'm gonna go with English.
Okay. Sounds good then. So let's get this started off. I'm gonna count down in 3. Wait, that's 3. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. To start things off, I'm gonna be having this boarding section. So basically the gist of this is turns are slow, hitting cars is slow, getting tricks off the ramp is fast. There you go. After that, we're going to be getting right into the Sonic movement for the run that you'll be seeing for most of the run, really. You're going to see spin dashes, jumps, somersaults, all that cool stuff. So, first off, we need to get on this rail here because it's fast. This is a good example of what somersaults do. They just kind of break things, and they actually make your hitbox a little bit smaller, but coming up we have CE skip. That should work. Alright, cool. So that's CE skip. Basically what we do is we unroll and then re-roll onto the ramp, maintaining our speed. And by unrolling and jumping, we can get a ton of speed off the ramp, wedging ourselves a little bit into the wall, letting us hitting that speed pad and flying through the sky to skip about 30 seconds of the level. Now we have truck section. The goal here is to just not fly off the hills. My controller has a bit of snapback, and I wanted to go into the neutral position on my joystick there, and so I paused the game for a little bit to make sure that happened. Here I'm going to wedge myself on the left wall, and then let go of the joystick, and it should just get me over those 2 hills. And then over here, we just get to the end, with some spin dash chaining. Basically, by unrolling and re-rolling, we can maintain our speed throughout multiple spin dashes, allowing us to move super fast. Coming up next, we have Bigfoot, who... one of the hardest bosses in the game, in my opinion, in terms of a speedrun perspective. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping up to the up left box, and then jumping on his head a few times. And if we mess up any little bit of movement, he's going to get away, and we're going to waste, like, a bunch of seconds. Alright, there we go. We need Bigfoot. So, coming up next is Knuckles. First instance of RNG in the run will be in Wild Canyon. Basically, we need to read the hint monitors, and that'll tell us where the pieces are, and then we go to them. It's RNG where they are, and there's about 100 different pieces. Nice free piece. So what a free piece is essentially a piece you can see before you're supposed to be able to grab it. And right there, you saw it right above my head at the beginning, and I can just grab it right there. And that was the 3rd piece. Pretty darn decent RNG overall. Can't complain if I get a free piece, you know? So, coming up is Eggman 1. Very, very easy boss. You press B button, and he dies. So, this is a great time for a donation if you have any.
We don't have any, but just a reminder that the bid war for the Metal Slug character choice has recently opened, as well as the bid war for Titanfall 2 to kill or spare the Marvin.
Alright, thank you very much. Marvin's a homie, by the way. Let you know now, as an Apex player, can confirm, Marvin's a homie. He gives you the loot. So this is Prison Lane, the first of Tails' action stages. One of the big things that this stage shows pretty much any casual player of the game is how bad the turning is on the mechs. The way we're actually going to end up avoiding that is by jumping around every corner that we can. Any sharp corner, that is. By doing so, we only lose a little bit of speed instead of, losing all of our speed, which will allow us to move fast, So there was a gate hop. I just hop up on there, and I kind of skip a little elevator section. Saves a few seconds. And then we have a little auto-scroller here. So we're actually going to shoot an enemy through a wall there, and that's going to open up a gate a little bit in there, just like right about here. Saves a little bit of time. We don't have to stop at the gate and start again. Here I'm going to shoot this bomb robot so he doesn't get in my way when I'm targeting these two. That opens this door, and we can go on in. So yeah, a lot of Tails is efficiently shooting where you need to, and making sure to, do your best to not drop below top speed at any given point in time. It's more about momentum conservation than momentum gain. There I shot an enemy through a wall again, so that I didn't have to kind of maneuver my way around and get that door to open. Just lets me open it up nice and easy. There's Prison Lane. Coming up next we have Metal Harbor. Something I'll say pretty early on, because I'd like to focus on a few certain things in there, is that a lot of Metal Harbor is kind of, I wouldn't say hard, but it's risky. It's a lot of medium, difficulty jumps back to back, and if you miss any of them, you just die, and you lose a bunch of time. So, we're gonna try our best to just not do that, So, we're gonna jump over here, go over here, and then jump to the last enemy in that cycle, and then head up and get the Lightspeed Dash. And that'll allow us to do this. It is actually possible to skip that upgrade, but it is simply just not faster. So here you're going to see our first instance of storage. I mentioned earlier how the somersault can make your hitbox smaller. You can actually, when you're in between, like if you were to let go of the B button, right, and you were to get a somersault, and you're to keep holding it, and you're to get a spin dash, when you're in that state where you're holding it down and nothing's happening yet, you actually have the hitbox and hurtbox of being in a somersault. So that allows you to sneak under some things really fast. You see this a bit more in Green Forest, with me doing it into springs, because another side effect of this is that when you land after an action, if you keep holding the button, you're gonna start charging a spin dash faster than you would otherwise. Alright. That's Metal Harbor. Moving on, we're gonna be having everybody's favorite cutscene, so I think I'll shut my trap for that one and that one alone.
Barely made it. Phew. So far, so good. Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh? You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
There's no time to play games.
Alright, so here is Shadow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to somersault into him, and then I'm going to wait for him to jump, when we attack his back. Oops, I jumped a little bit early. And then I'm going to storage into him.
Do you know who I am?
So again, storage does give you the hurt box and hit box of the homing attack. Or the somersault, rather. So you can actually hurt enemies with it, like that.
Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows up?
Alright, so this is Green Forest. Green Forest is actually a pretty technical level in terms of movement. There's a lot of locations where you can kind of fly into the sky by not charging a spin dash over a hill properly or having too much speed. So there's a lot of management about when you charge your spin dashes and how fast you're going. So overall, it's actually pretty complicated. I'm also going to be going for a rather difficult trick in this stage called Rainforest Wall Run, and I'll let it speak for itself if I end up getting it. So that's just a simple little loop skip. Saves you going around, saves some time. So there I actually ride onto the right side so I don't get flung into the air. Alright, here we go. I missed it. I'm gonna try again. I could have saved myself there, and I knew where I was, but I'm gonna give it a 1 or 2 more tries. I want to show this off for y'all. Oh, that's sketch. Ah, barely didn't make it. Last try. Perfect. All right, it's not done yet. I still have to do a moonshot. Go around the invisible planes, walls, and stuff. Yeah! I barely nicked one of the invisible walls after my homing attack. Like, barely missed it. And because of that, I ended up not getting the trick. So, you get to see both the wall run and the climb normally. So, hope you're happy. Yeah, Moonshot's really finicky. But to explain what happened there, essentially I very precisely positioned myself on the side of the ramp, and then very precisely swing back to the back of it, and by homing attacking, I can actually grab what's known as loop speed. So essentially, the game has a mechanic that makes you sure you stick to walls and move at a certain speed when you're on a loop, so you don't, like, fall off, right? And you can actually activate that with a homing attack, and the area for loop speed extends a little bit behind the loop there. And by doing that, you can fling yourself using the loop speed, land on the wall, run up, and then spin dash off at the end and make it. But alas, I barely nicked an invisible wall, because there's a ton of them there. And if you hit any of them, you just die. I barely nicked one, and I ended up dying because of that. Bangers. So there, I actually skipped the cutscene of the what's it called? The upgrade by reading a hint at the same time that I grabbed it. Saves a little bit of real time. This game is timed in in-game time, so it doesn't save any time in that, but this is a marathon. Marathons are timed in real time. I do see chat. There's just a lot to explain, so apologies if I'm a little bit not too responsive. There we go. But also, what's up Joe? What's up, Joey? Jesus, I can not speak. Looks cooler. CGS does look cooler than CGSS in my opinion. But they're both very cool. Oh yeah, so turning the audio down here actually, because it is quite ridiculously loud here in Mission Street, so that's why I bonked. That's why. Okay, so I barely jumped a little bit earlier there, so that means we're not going to be able to make the cycle that we want, because if I jump up there properly, this doesn't fall. So I'm going to have to wait for this wait, unfortunately, but that's okay. So we got the hover upgrade. Something to note about the hover is that it's really broken. I messed it up there, but essentially by jumping and then hovering immediately after, you can get a ton of height like that. Much more than you would from a normal jump. And we can abuse this quite a bit. So if you see me pausing after a jump, the reason for doing this is to actually just get the A presses as close together as possible. I'm gonna do it up here a little bit as well, because this is a decently tight hover jump. So, some hard movement there with all the camera churning and stuff like that. I head over this way, break the box, let the weight down, hit the switch, head up, do a pause hover here, and it looks like I'm going to get 1.5 cycle. So, the way we name the cycles here is that if you go on the front here, that's a half cycle of some sort. And if you go on the back, that's like a full cycle. So if I went back there and was able to make that back weight, that would be first cycle. So I actually don't shoot these robots, because if I do, it spawns that plane earlier, and it'll start dropping bombs on me. Just jumping around those boxes to make sure I don't get stuck on them, because it is quite easy to do so. Alright. And voila, that is the stage. Turning my audio back up to a proper volume.
That was a little tough.
So coming up, we have Aquatic Mine, which has some crazy movement, crazy clips, crazy tech, and we might see some of that. It depends on the set we get. So first things first, I'm looking for a piece in this opening cutscene. I didn't see any. But I get a ping, so I know I got at least a decent first piece. Gonna check for a piece here on the minecart tracks. Okay, gonna look over there and see if I can see a piece, and I cannot. Then we go down here. Water level 2 height. I'm gonna actually clip through the wall here using this sign. Just like that. By moving into that specific hallway, I can actually correct my camera too. And then we get stair-shaped brick room. Now I'm gonna clip out here too. And then I need to move without being able to see, and then I'm gonna clip again through the wall and go all the way down here and grab the last piece. And that's Aquatic Mine. In my opinion, it is my favorite Knuckles stage, and one of my favorite stages in the entire game. It's just so fun to like move around in, and like it's so satisfying when you get like those weird cameras, but you still get good movement, and you know, the clips are cool, and it's just all very satisfying. And we go from that level into essentially an auto-scroller. So I'm gonna explain this all really quickly, because there isn't really much to talk about in this stage. I'm gonna drift, and that's gonna make it so that my speed cap is changed to the boost speed instead of the normal speed. I'm gonna turn around here because it's funny. No other reason. It doesn't make me faster or anything. It just looks funny. And I'm going to be trying to manage how many rings I collect and where, so that I can get a proper boost at proper times. So, with that, that's all I've really got to explain on this level. It's about 2 minutes left, so Lori, if you've got anything to say, take it away.
Unfortunately, no new donations yet, so I am just going to read something from the list. And I guess we can, I have the wrong document open. We can talk about whatever we want while I look for what I'm looking for.
Nice.
How is you? I know it's very early for you, but how has it been so far?
It's been a nice day. I actually got some really nice sleep. I really, woke up early. It feels good.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty good morning, considering what you're doing right now. Because what you're doing right now is something pretty cool. You are helping Sweet Relief. The Sweet Relief Musicians Fund provides financial assistance to all types of career musicians who are struggling to make ends meet while facing illness, disability, or age-related problems. In other words, they're healing musicians in need. They help musicians with medical and vital living expenses, including insurance premiums, prescriptions, medical treatment, operative procedures, housing costs, food costs, utilities, and other basic necessities. I'd say that's a pretty good thing to do with your morning.
Yeah, I would say so as well. I'm pretty happy to be here.
Who else wants to feel like they're doing a good thing with their morning? You can donate to help this cause.
Whoa! That's
We
hype.
have 2 bid wars currently open. Save or kill the Marvin in Titanfall 2 and the character choice for Metal Slug. Currently, neither of those bid wars have any money in them. So if you donate for them now, you're going to get first pick.
Yeah, I found the president.
Yes, you should definitely donate, by the way, to not just to getting your pick on the bid war, but just to donate. Also,
To see the number go up.
number go up. Make my serotonin go burr. So now we have Hidden Base, and remember when I said that the hover was pretty broken? Well, you didn't really get to see it too much in Mission Street. You got to see it here and there. Here, I'm gonna go for a frame perfect trick that I'm not practiced in. And I got the first part of it, but I needed a really good hover jump afterwards, and I ended up missing that. So instead, we're just gonna back up and go over here, and just go over this wall. So, something to really note about Hidden Base, is that it has a lot of walls that are kind of just above the maximum jump height, right? Like, they didn't expect you to be able to get much more height, so they didn't spend time really making the walls bigger than they needed to be. But, turns out, ooh, it's a little bit rough. Thought I had a bit more height. Turns out, we actually can just get more than the maximum jump height anyways, and we don't have to care about that. Something to note as well is that knocking down the doors is actually pretty complicated because you can't just spam. You gotta kind of do it with at the fastest part of the rhythm that you can. Because if you spam, there's a bit of a lockout on it. Ooh, that's a bit rough. Meant to go over that. Instead, I'm just gonna jump over here, jump over that, and then go through the wall there. And coming up, we have the last out of bounds of the level. Gonna jump up here with the hover jump up here, and hover jump one last time over this way. I really think this level is really, really cool, because there's a lot of skips back to back that save, like, a tiny bit of time, but they all really add up throughout the course of the level. And voila, that's Hidden Base. Going from the most technical Tail stage into one of the most technical Sonic stages, which you'll see is actually quite a theme with the desert. It's very hard. It's definitely where a lot of runs die. We've got Pyramid Cave. So Pyramid Cave has some of the hardest, like, weirdest, most complicated movement, in my opinion, for these sections here at the beginning and halfway through. I got a nice 12 check, very nice. And now up here we're going to be doing a mock bounce. By spin dashing and then holding A into that wall in between the Chow box, we can launch ourselves into the sky. We can skip a good chunk there. Now we're going to get the bounce bracelet. Sonic's broken upgrade, because it lets you do that. Now that may not have been super apparent what just happened, but it will be in a second. So that's a super bounce. Essentially, by having a bunch of speed and then bouncing in front of a wall, it converts your horizontal speed into vertical speed. And you can do this no matter how much speed you have, but it's most effective with a bunch of speed. Ooh, this is a bit rough. Let me reline myself up perfectly. Oh, come on. I'm not charging all the way, and that's why I'm not getting through. There we go. See what I said? As soon as I took my own advice. That's second door skip. Essentially, you just kind of spin dash through a little gap in the wall. You spin dash jump through, and you make it through. Next up, we have the first instance of gravity manipulation, and I'll explain that after I do it. Okay, so basically what just happened there was that when Sonic is on a slope in this game, not only does, like, he tilt, but the position of down relative to Sonic changes. This was done so that you could wall run on, like, walls at the beginning of City Escape. But with enough speed, which we can get from the bounce bracelet, you can maintain that gravity even in the air. And that allows you to do some pretty crazy stuff. And that's Pyramid Cave.
Huh. No problem.
Yeah. What Cadence is saying in chat is very true. You just gotta work enough until you learn the pieces. So, in Death Chamber, I'm actually gonna be looking for a piece in a very specific area of the game. Or in the room. This will work. It's not gonna be great, but I'm still gonna go for it. This is Fire Dance. I was hoping for something in Blue Room. This is Red-Blue. So, like, in between. Ooh, bugs on patrol. Give me that, 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 give me that. Here's an example of a free piece again. It's a bit finicky to grab, but it's very worth it, of course. And then I'm gonna clip out of bounds here using this box. That's known as Booty Clip. I'm gonna fly over to where Fire Dance is from out of bounds. And then we're gonna grab this. And then we're gonna go up here, grab this next hint. 4 leaves. That's in Green Room. It's actually probably faster for me to take an intentional death than claw my way all the way over to Green Room. So, ooh, wow, that was really lucky. Oh my god. What an insane set. Bugs on Patrol, Fire Dance, Roasted Keys. Oh my god, I would...
This is perfect.
Oh my god.
Huh? Who's there?
That is insane. So, I was going to explain Death Abuse, but I didn't think that it would actually come into play, given that I got Fire Dance. Essentially, the way piece spawning works is that you can, when you grab a first piece, it'll like to spawn pretty far away from it. So if you're in the Blue Room, for instance, you can die, and you have a pretty good chance of getting a piece to spawn in the Red Room, which is where you spawn. And that's exactly what happened there. So now we have King Boom Boo. Just gotta dig him up. Punch him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I double punch. That should be fine. 4, 5. Okay, yep, I made it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, cool. That all worked out. That was pretty scary. I thought the camera was gonna flip when I punched twice accidentally, but everything ended up working out. What pace did I say I'm on? Definitely still on pace for Underestimate. Don't want to jinx anything, though. And now we have Egg Golem. Remember those super bounces from earlier? We're gonna do a super, super tight one here. Try to, at least. They're super hard. I'm just happy to at least get one, you know? And that's gonna allow us to skip the whole segment of him punching and getting up and all that. There we go. And then another. I'm gonna go for one more, given that he's gonna be in the cooldown of his animation. I got it. Nice. Grab this ring just for safety's sake. And that's the last hit. Very clean Egg Golem overall.
Nice try, Rocky.
Thank you for the good luck. 34, that's really nice. I like seeing a time like that at the end of that boss. That's satisfying. So, coming up, we actually have another major skip in the game. This is called, well, you know, people call it different things. Some people call it Bofa skip, some people call it box clip, whatever. Whatever your heart desires. Voila. So, I'm actually really surprised that I got that first try. I don't normally get it first try. It's really pretty darn precise. So I'm very happy with that. Basically, we just drop the top box on our head, and that allows us to clip out of bounds. And then we go around the camera locus. You know, we just fly to the end. I am, in fact, in space. Fox in space. I think, yeah, I'm a little bit too far to the left. I'm just going to claw my way back over here. I'm going to land here. Then I hold up left and then down right. Just to make sure, I'm going to hover just to make sure that I'm on the right path. And there we go. You get a nice 130. Well, 21 minutes is the in-game time, not the real time. The real time is a lot longer than the in-game time. There's a lot of result screens, some cutscenes, loading stuff that isn't counted. So I think the current record is like a 34 real time, isn't it? Something along those lines. In real time, that is. So near a moon with a rotating beacon. Nice first piece. So this is the last Knuckle stage of the run.
Two more left.
And black boxes on the black platform. Well, they don't cut 10 minutes off this run. That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. They do cut a few. This game's top level is really, really crazy. I'd recommend checking out some of the stuff on SRC. Find a star. This is at the top, and I'm silly. I was like having a brain fart because I was like, wait a second, this should be a piece at the bottom, right? But no, ends up turns out I got a little bit unlucky with that. Normally you get like middle, top, bottom with those first two pieces. So I think that might have been like a 50-50 though. Maybe I should have dug for that. Anyways.
This is perfect.
And that's the last of the Knuckle stages. Coming up next we have Rouge, which is the second to last boss fight in the game, and then we have Crazy Gadget, which would be a really technical level with a lot to explain, and a huge skip in it.
That's a good one. Your Emerald. Talking to you is a waste of time.
Very well. If that's how you want to play, I will take it from you.
Alright, nice.
From my Emerald.
And that's the Rouge boss fight. Essentially, by being in the air, she won't attack, so we drill dive a bunch, because that means we're in the air. And then she dies. I grab a ring just for safety, just in case I mess up, but you don't need to do that. There are a lot of runners who don't. But it's a marathon, so. So this is a Crazy Gadget. This is going to be like kind of a accumulation of a lot of the Sonic movement we've seen before. Into one big level with a big skip at the end. Alright, here we go. Nice. Out of bounds first try. Now I need to move my way towards the goal. And voila! There we go. Nice. That is CGSS. Essentially what I do is I weave around very precisely 2 kill planes, and then I fly to the end of the stage there. And that skip saves about a minute over doing the stage normally. Now we have Eggman, the second to last boss in the game. I forgot about Shadow. So here I'm gonna jump, and then I'm gonna let go at a certain time, and then run into the corner here. I ran a little bit too far. Never mind, I got it to work. And by getting in that corner there, we actually make Eggman's AI shove up against an invisible wall, and by doing that, it turns him around and allows us to just keep shooting him while he does that. Alright, so, I'm really disappointed in myself. I wasn't able to show off Rainforest wall run. So I'm just gonna fly into the void now. You know how it is. Look, I'm underestimated enough. I've got time to throw, okay? Please? Let me do it? Please?
You can throw all you want.
Thank you. Alright, so now we're gonna wait for about a minute until I die. So if you got a donation, now's a great time.
We have a donation. We have $5 from Tayman ND that says, Midwest Speedfest Marathon mean it's time for my quadri-annual tradition of reminding all the haters that White Castle is an S-tier fast food chain.
Oh no.
Give me those mini double cheeseburgers. I've loved watching Midwest Speedfest grow over the years ever since my first run for the event in summer 2018. Good luck to all the runners and organizers. I'm not taking a stance on this.
I'm taking a stance. I've never had White Castle, that's my stance. Alright,
That's
so...
my stance too.
Anyways, that was a ruse. Actually, I was beating the level. So that's FR skip. Remember earlier when I said that the bounce bracelet manipulated gravity is really broken? Yeah. What we do is we actually manipulate gravity to fly sideways around some kill planes, even ourselves out, and then fly to the end of the level. And, that's, we're coming up on the last boss of the run. It's a shadow. 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I was a little bit late on that. I'm gonna back it up by getting one more hit with a bounce. Or a little bit early on the... and then I'm gonna run forward until he spawns again and continue the rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Alright, time! I forgot to mention time. There's a lot going on in the run, and I apologize for that. But, on my end, I got a 35-27 or so. And, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually very happy with that. First tried all the skips except for wall run. Got CE skip in a marathon again. You know how it is. I mean, that was a fun run. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun doing it. Got to wear my maid outfit, you know how it is. But thank you all for watching, and remember to donate to the cause. I'd also like to shout out that we do have a speedrun community Discord that you can find on the speedrun.com for this page. And as well as like a lot of resources in there for learning and people willing to help, question channels, stuff like that. So if you're interested in getting into the game, you can talk around in there. People are more than willing to help you out. So shout outs to them. I learned this game a long time ago, and it's cool to see how the community's grown and changed and evolved since then. So, you know, donate, by the way, to Midwest Speed Fest. Great cause, by the way. Just, you know. But yeah, I think that's about it for my shoutouts. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for having me. And that's, I'm Piner, signing off.